So I'm I was railing on sort of success culture and talking about it openly as one does, right? And one of the comments that I got back was, "Well, that's nice for you to say. It gives you representation of a group of people that don't get represented." It wasn't exactly those terms, but I kind of was like, "Wait a minute. I am just living my life." And I'm just doing the best that I possibly can. And my life, I think, while not completely representative of everybody, I think it's pretty fair to say I think it's somewhat representative of people that are trying to do their best in any particular domain at any given day. And I try to really stress that while my life is about having 2 kids as a dad that likes to be egalitarian as much as possible, and a working wife that is just as successful, if not as or more successful than I am, and trying to balance all of these different things, family commitments, um, you know, parents, other extended family, living abroad, all of these kind of things and living this kind of like crazy life. And I just felt like, wait a minute, am I not representative of a lot of people that have this kind of life where you're trying to do your best and you always feel like you are sinking? Um, I feel like that all of the time, and I just want people to know that they're normal, right? Like, and I try to play to the masses as much as possible because I really realize that I think a lot of people are in this boat. There's only a small number of people that are feel successful, even if they are successful. If you were to look at my life, you would probably say, like, hey, from the outside in, look at, how successful that this person is. But I'm telling you right now that you never feel that way. And, um, you know, the the world often doesn't reward it, right? Like, it doesn't reward things that you're trying to do your best and you're spending time sort of committing to and working towards something. And in my experience, it never really works out in the way that you sort of dream it to be. And it's only been since I actually started speaking out about this, um, by chance, because I was sort of forced to, because I built the software. I spent a whole bunch of money of my family's money on building software to solve this problem. And then I realized, like, hey, I got to give a voice to this, right? As a software was to create non-rejectable research papers and as well as have fun doing it, which is a critical key part. I could just force people to do things that are more rigorous and go down that success culture, which we love to play up. This is like so strong within the academic game, but not only within the academic game, but within my field, which is super high stakes often. The pay is higher. And I'm not complaining about any of those things. It's just that the stress is higher, right? Like it's because people are looking at those things. So, you know, what I am pointing out with all of this is that that lifestyle is almost not attainable. It's not achievable for almost everybody. And everybody feels like they are not getting there. And I'm going to tell you, the dirty secret is that even for those that are so-called succeeding, they have all of these other resources that nobody ever talks about, is never open about that, that they have access to. So, for example, the quintessential thing that I always talk about is like just the fact that they have opportunities, right? They might get invited to speak. They might have different graduate students. They might have different financial resources, like all these different things nobody ever talks about. But then we sit and compare and we say that these things are all the same thing. No, they're not. right? Like, that's what my biggest thing is no, there's a lot of talented, unbelievably talented people that we don't tap into fully because these people are not getting the same resources as other people actually are. Um, and I want to change that. I see that there is this massive amount, this huge group of people from many places around the world that don't get a voice. There's many people that um that may not speak the same language as me, don't look like me, like all these kind of things that I'm painfully aware of, and we can give access to them, but the only way that we can get access to them is sort of changing things and wrestling a little bit of feathers and telling people, "Hey, wait a minute. If you're already successful, that doesn't mean that the system has to be that way, right? It means it's going to rustle some feathers because the people that are already successful are already doing well, and they often don't want to change what they've built." Right, and this is the challenge. This is what it means to do real innovation. This is what it means to really change the world, is getting people from both sides, right? Like, people that can see it and they're being they're being out of it, right? Like, they're not part of the conversation. And yes, you have to connect with those folks, but it's also connecting with all the other people that are part of generating this. And so how do I do this? I tell my story, right? And my story is of this harried, I haven't got a clue what I'm doing person that I'm trying to do my best every day. I'm trying to work. I try to be a good employee. I try to be a good husband. I try to be a good dad, a good son, a good uncle, and all of those things. I never really feel like I'm good in any of those particular domains, right? I think that that is the key thing to remember, is that the difference between actually doing it and wanting to do it is really big, and feeling that success is really big. Um, the other thing is that there's always these moments, and this is where I kind of believe in some of economic thinking, is that there's always costs to everything that you do, right? But those costs are often not told. They're often not seen, observed, talked about. And I just want people to understand that, yeah, you know what? So my life is I am absolutely privileged to grow up in a country. I grew up in Canada, even though I was in northern Canada, which some people would say, "Oh, it's hard done by," and all that kind of stuff. I know that that is not necessarily true, because there's many other countries that don't get that representation nearly as much as Canada, right? Like, Canada is one of the top places to live in, and people want to live there. And so there is more of a voice than many other places, right? Like, as per ratings, I don't believe those ratings, because I know that there's many places around the world that are absolutely amazing that don't get those ratings, because we just simply don't talk about them. But my point is that I'm trying to live a life where I feel like I'm stretched in many different directions, and I feel like I can never do it. I'm never right, but I'm trying. Right? Like, I'm getting out there. I'm trying to move the needle. I realize that many of the things I'm gonna say are going to ruffle feathers, um, particularly those who've already made it, because it sort of makes them feel awkward. But how else do you change? How else do you connect? How else do you get to people that often don't feel represented? Is by connecting with their stories, right? And I think that that is the key thing, is to so what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep moving forward. I am going to keep trying every day, and it's going to feel stupid for me, and I feel stupid. I'm so embarrassed all of the time. Like, yeah, you don't understand how embarrassing it feels for me, because I'm naturally a very shy person. but I'm going to keep trying. I'm going to keep getting the voice out there so that you can keep going and realize and let you know that I'm here trying, trying to move the needle, trying to make it a little bit more open and get more people a voice. All right. Take care. Have a wonderful day.